Welcome to the deep dive. Ever get baffled by how massive projects actually, have
It
it?
seem like magic sometimes.
Right. Well, today we're looking at the documents behind the curtain. The key stuff project managers use, especially for the PMP certification.
The project management professional, yeah.
Think of this as your inside guide to the structure that makes projects work.
Exactly. Whether you're studying for the PMP or maybe just trying to get a better grip on your own work projects or, you're just curious how it's all structured,
Hmm.
understanding these documents is really useful. We've got a list kind of grouped by knowledge area.
Okay.
And our mission today is basically to pull out the absolute must-know documents and explain like why they matter so much.
All right, let's jump in. Integration management.
Hmm.
That sounds like it holds things together. Where do we start there?
You start with the project charter. That's the big one. It's like the official birth certificate for the project.
Okay, it makes it real.
It makes it real, authorizes it, gives the project manager the authority they need to actually use resources and get started.
Got it.
And right alongside that, there's the assumption log. This is interesting. It's where you write down everything you think is true when you start.
Ah, the underlying beliefs.
Precisely. And if those turn out wrong, well, that can cause issues down the line, so it's good to have them written down.
Makes sense, making the unspoken spoken. What else keeps a project integrated?
Well, as you go, you've got the change log, the issue log, and the lessons learned register.
The project's diary, almost.
Sort of, yeah. Change log tracks every change to the plan. Issue log keeps tabs on problems that pop up. And lessons learned, that's crucial for not repeating mistakes.
Learning as you go. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's integration. What about defining what the project actually is? Scope management.
That's it. And the heart of that is the requirements documentation.
Yeah.
This spells out every single thing the project needs to deliver or achieve. It's like the foundation for all the work.
So this is where you get super specific about the what, and maybe the what not too.
Absolutely. Defining what's out of scope is just as important sometimes. From the requirements, you build the scope statement,
Right.
which is that formal boundary description. And the work breakdown structure, the WBS.
Ah, the WBS, breaking it down.
Yeah, like an outline for the project. Big deliverables into smaller work packages, much easier to manage.
Makes sense.
Oh, and the requirements traceability matrix, it
Oh.
just links requirements back to the actual deliverables. A bit detailed, but useful.
Okay. So we know what we're doing. How about when? Schedule management.
Yep. The main thing here is, well, the schedule itself.
The Gantt chart we always see.
Often, yes, Gantt chart, or maybe a network diagram. It visually lays out the tasks, their durations, dependencies, your timeline.
And milestones.
Definitely need the milestone list, those key checkpoints, major progress points. Good for morale, too.
True. Little wins along the way. Okay. Timeline sorted. What about the budget? Cost management.
Right, so you'll have your cost estimates first. Educated guesses, really, for how much each part will cost.
Educated guesses. I like that.
Hopefully, these feed into the cost baseline. That's your official approved budget over time, the benchmark.
And how do we know the estimates aren't just plucked from thin air?
That's the basis of estimates document. It explains how you arrived at those numbers, the justification.
Transparency. Now, things always go wrong, don't they? Risk management.
Yeah, they certainly can. The STAR document here is the risk register.
Okay.
This is your central list of potential problems, risks. You identify them, analyze like how likely and how bad they could be, and then plan how you'd respond if they actually happened.
And I guess this links back to that assumption log you mentioned. If an assumption is wrong, that's a risk.
Exactly. A flawed assumption is a classic source of project risk. They're definitely connected.
Got it. What about keeping everyone informed? Communications.
Key area. The communications management plan outlines who needs what information, when, how they'll get it. Crucial for stakeholder engagement.
Speaking of stakeholders, how do you track them?
That's the stakeholder register. You identify everyone with an interest, figure out their needs, expectations, influence,
And how to keep them happy?
or at least how to manage their expectations
Yeah.
effectively, yeah.
So looking back at all these, I'm seeing some patterns, lots of planning up front.
Definitely. Planning is huge, but also tracking. Tracking changes, issues, progress.
And learning, right? That lessons learned register.
Absolutely. That cycle of plan, do, check, act. It's embedded in these documents, planning, tracking, and learning.
So really, even if you're not chasing the PMP cert, using some of these documents,
Mm.
or at least the thinking behind them.
Oh, absolutely. It gives you a framework, a structure. It helps you navigate complexity, It doesn't matter the project size, really.
Provides that roadmap.
Uh,
So, final thought for our listener. What's one thing they should maybe take away and apply?
Maybe think about a project you're working on now. Which one of these areas or these documents feels like the weakest link?
Hmm.
Is it the scope definition? Or maybe risk planning? Just identifying that one area where applying a bit more structure could make the biggest difference. That's a really powerful takeaway.
Find the gap and fill it with a bit more process. Good advice. These aren't just bureaucratic hoops, they're actual tools.
They really are tools for success.
Well, on that practical note, I think that's all we have time for in this deep dive. Thanks for walking us through that.
My pleasure.